So why is the military recruitment in this country such a mess? That's just what one of the topics Fox and Friends Weekend co-host Pete Hegseth addresses in his new book, War on Warriors, Behind the Betrayal of the Men Who Keep Us Free, which is out today, and you should pick it up. In the book, Pete writes.
That's right. It's out today, and a portion of it is about recruiting. Why aren't guys joining? And I wrote, we can't wait to recruit our largest and most important military demo until a crisis occurs. That's normal, strong men. But that's just what the Biden woke policies have done. A social justice military fails to recruit the masculine men who make up our warrior class. No wonder there is a massive recruiting crisis in our military today, and there is.
So, Pete, let's explore some of the stuff that's in this book. Yeah. I'm on page 112. Let's go to the next wall. All right, so these are the recruitment numbers right here. We had a segment a few weeks ago, and they said that it's actually going up, but there's deeper numbers.
So these are 2023 numbers. They're all down. Armies, okay. And if you're down 15,000 troops, that's a division. That's a division that you have in staff with young privates. So Navy's down, Air Force is down. Marine Corps meets it because it's a little bit, their ads are a little bit more, hey, you know, the few, the proud, the Marines. In 2024, they say they're going to meet their goals because that's it. They're reducing the goal number.
Okay, gotcha.
They're taking the number down, saying, oh, we don't need as many troops.
So when they say they're on pace, it's because the number has changed.
Yeah, they lower the standards, like everywhere else in the military. Lower the standards.
So there's also the 77% of military Americans do not qualify. Why don't they qualify?
So this is what you hear from the Pentagon all the time, Lawrence. Okay. Well, the reason we're not meeting our standards is because 77% of young people can't join. That's legit. I mean, we're too fat. We're not smart enough. You got medical records and other criminal records. 77% of 18-year-old kids can't join the military. That's a problem in and of itself. But that's a number that's more or less been the same for over a decade.
So this is not new.
This is not new. But it's a real reason. But when they tell you that is the reason, it's not the only reason, Lawrence.
So let's get into why.
Yes, that's the big thing. The big reason is they're observing the types of recruiting ads and efforts that this military is pushing. Some folks who've seen this network might remember this ad from the military. Watch this.
This is the story of a soldier who operates your nation's Patriot missile defense systems. It begins in California with a little girl raised by two moms. I also marched for equality. I like to think I've been defending freedom from an early age.
So does this...
I missed the recruitment effort.
Does this inspire you?
No.
All those young men in Kentucky and, you know, Ohio and all of them, they say, oh, yeah, that's the Army I want to join. They missed the mark. It's just like a Bud Light moment, Lawrence. We don't want those frat boys. We want a different type of demo. Well, there are only so many ladies with two mommies that want to join the Army. You need normal, masculine men that want, and women that want to join to fill our ranks and always have.
Real quickly, Pete, when did this sort of push start? How long has this been going on?
This started under Obama, but it's been on hyperspeed under Biden. I mean, Trump paused it and he said in our interview with him, I want to get rid of woke military. I believe he will, and recruiting will come back as a result of that. But Lawrence, there are other reasons why too. So this is not just the ads. You saw the vaccine mandate pushed out a lot of conservative, Christian, folks that by principle didn't want to do that. The debacle in Afghanistan, they looked at how our military was treated, how that was handled. Then, of course, military families, Lawrence, we were talking about this before the segment.
I'm the first generation not to serve.
32% in 2023 of military families are recommending that the next generation serve. That's way down.
But why is that happening? Because I hear from SF guys, obviously my family, who all serve, told me not to serve.
Yeah.
People that love the country but are encouraging their kids not to serve. Why is that happening?
Because they've seen the military change. They don't want their kids signing up to join an institution that doesn't reflect their values, that doesn't put meritocracy and lethality first. They're tinkering with social engineering, and as a result, the cream of the crop isn't rising. So the guys who have been there, done there, been to Iraq, Afghanistan, Guantanamo Bay, they say, I don't know if I want my 5 boys joining or not. That's why I end the book with a chapter that says the letter to my sons. Do I want you to serve or not? Get the book and you'll hear what I recommend. But it's a tough question.
The book. You should get it. It's rocking the seams of the Pentagon right now because they don't know what's in it, or do they know what's in it? Thank you, Pete. You should get it today.
Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor is due to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings and salutations without the hopeful elect. Nor is in this gospel brought us with the standard of Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is a lesson through the spirit. I know the brothers and myself were speaking on this military draft, this coming draft. And the elders and the apostles have been speaking on this for a while as well. I remember going back into the old videos back in 2007, 8, 9, 10, those golden eras when, GMS was on the streets. Tough, which we're still out there, but, we was more centralized in bigger locations. But I know the apostles was going into how that would be a military draft because, through Obama's Don't Ask, Don't Tell movement and the woke military, eventually people was going to decline, okay? The morality and the benefactors that come with that, people were going to start to degrade mentally. And as we see what it's been 8 years since he's been out of office, because I believe his last term was 2012 to 2016. Then Trump came in from 16 to 20, and then this guy Biden, But during Obama's administration, they pushed certain policies to allow you to have all these freedoms, which was destructive to your manhood and womanhood, Now they have a hard time hitting recruitment numbers because for the simple fact, they don't have real men, okay? And most of the men in the military, they're not capable. They said 77% of America's population is not qualified to join the military, and that's bad, okay? And that shows you the once great nation that America, so-called, have been. It's pretty much at its weakest point, The Lord said that, hey, come and sit in the dust, and thou shalt not be a lady anymore, roughly paraphrasing it, because, America and this westernized culture, they've basically bragged about their military might and their freedoms and their luxuries to the point it's destroyed them, because the average 18-year-old, 19-year-old he's a pillhead, he's a pillhead full of drugs and Molly, all types of antidepressants, obese. You can't run 2 miles without coughing up blood. This generation is weak. It's through, and this is bad for Babylon the Great, because your nations, your enemies, I say it that way, they see it. They see the weakness, and they're laughing at you. Okay, ain't nowhere in hell you can take these Generation Zers and put them part of a probable military to fight Russia, to fight Koreans, to fight Chinese. When these men were bred in war, but yet you were bred behind a PlayStation 5, or behind woke shows, or behind Furbies and little rainbow colors, putting women on pedestal. This society is a joke. It's getting ready to be destroyed. It's through, So basically it says House has passed a defense bill automatically registering men 18 to 26 because they said the numbers are so low to the point nobody's signing up for the armed forces anymore. Okay, and most people, they don't want to sign up for it because they looking at it like, why would I fight for a racist country? Why would I fight for a country that's pushing woke rights and taking away my rights and giving them to people that's not even deserving of them? I see it that way. On top of that, billions of dollars are going over to the Ukraine and to Israel, and you taking taxpayers' money and you sending it overseas to fund these forever wars and they deplorable lifestyles. But yet I'm hit with the bill at the end of the year. Every year I owe the IRS because they decide they want to take excessive amount of money from us, and we have to pay the bill. So who wants to fight for a place like that? You've totally betrayed your citizens, man. So you're not going to get those numbers. So your best bet, you're going to have to start snatching people up off the street. You're going to have to start getting people out of jail, felons. You got to recruit these poo-shiesties out here. I mean, that'd be your best bet, because nobody in their right mind is going to sign up for your military or even comply with your draft. So just you drafting people alone may spark some type of civil unrest. But, we have to wait and see. All right. But it says, and this is pretty much not the long article. This is the bill here. And this is a long bill. And I'm not going to read all this. All right? I'm not even going to read a third of this because it's too much. It's a lot, because I'll be scrolling all day. Though I do want to go through this and get some decent points, but that will be over a course of time. It's not going to happen this lesson. But if anybody's interested in seeing this, I will copy and paste the link in the description. And y'all can go check this out for yourselves, because I'm not doing a babysitting game, man. Y'all want to learn, go and search this shit for yourselves, man. All right. But anyway, it says he'll bring back the draft. A divisive home front battle will loom over any major war, and they're gonna need the numbers. Okay, they getting ready to go down to the east. Okay, to the Valley of Jehoshaphat. That's the only thing left for them to do. All right, that's just what it is. There's war in Ukraine, and then all of a sudden that October 7th ordeal, that led up to all this, and the tensions have been growing ever since. So it says in the U.S. on the cusp of three-front world war against Russia, Iran, and China. So that's World War III. It says in such a seismic event were to occur, and it ain't worry, it will occur. Would our nation's 50-year-old all-volunteer force request a boost from, dare I even say it, a reinstatement of the draft? Good luck with that, but they're going to have to do something. You know, all the migrants coming over here, they're going to have to grab them up too. It says it was January 27, 1973, when most American men aged 19 to 25 were able to celebrate President Richard Nixon's abolishing of the draft. It reads, Defense Secretary Melvin Laird announced, I wish to inform you that the armed forces henceforth will depend exclusively on volunteer soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines. And that's where they fucked up at, because they didn't keep it. They kept it around. It probably would have kept these men on their toes, but these men have totally become soft. You know, these baby boomers, man. Joke. It says, although Jimmy Carter later reinstated draft registration, American men have escaped mandatory military service for 2 generations because millions of their patriotic brothers and sisters were willing to serve voluntarily, with thousands of them laying their life down for the country, which all wars are bankers' wars. Okay, if you go and you fight for the society, you ain't fighting for freedom. You ain't fighting for a better life or free taxes. You're fighting to put money into bankers' pockets and to steal resources. That's what you're doing. You're not helping the cause. Okay, you're basically policemen in military fatigue to do the elite bankers' bidding. Okay, so anyway, this is the Book of Joel 2:20, because there will be another draft. Okay, they're gonna have to do something. But it says, but I will remove you far off from the northern. It says, I will remove you far from all. It says, for I will remove far off from you the northern army, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face towards the east sea, and the hinder part towards the utmost sea. And his stink should come up, and his ill savor should come up, because he have done great things. Okay, so the Most High is going to send the American military down to the east to fight this world war, man. And this is what we've been saying. So they're gonna have to do something. Like I said, they're gonna have to grab people out of jail. They're gonna grab people off the streets. These migrants coming over here, they're gonna grab people, man, because you already got a foreign military here for when civil unrest ensues. So while they grab up the recruits here, they're gonna call the reserves, you know, the veterans that served. They're gonna go down the list, because they're gonna exhaust that selective service list real quick. Then the reserves are gonna come back. Then they're gonna call people back to active duty. If you got any type of military experience, they're gonna call you back. They're gonna have to. Now, whether you choose to go or not, that's up between you and Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. But the correct thing to do is to put your faith in the Lord and say, fuck your goddamn draft. I'm not going. Put me in jail, whatever you do. Because we gonna get tested. Okay, some brothers may get that draft call, because we had some brothers that was enlisted. Unless you just you on disability. But even then, Esau's the devil. He'll call you back. Hey, can you be a heavy gunner? Can you be an autopilot? Can you operate a drone? And they're paying way more money too. They're paying, I believe, up to 20% more, some shit like that. But they gonna give you the bag to go out there. But the problem is that you ain't gonna come back and spend it, because where you gonna come back to? Because those of you that's going to fight this war, you ain't coming back over here. You gonna die out there. And on top of that, if you was to make it, you ain't gonna have no America, because America's gonna be totally destroyed by that time. By the time the Lord comes back, when the Lord comes back, and when he ends this war, there ain't gonna be no Babylon the Great to come back to. This shit is gonna be wiped off the map, you know, and deservingly so. And in my humble opinion, it can't come quick enough, you know. But anyway, it says, and I would drive away these armies from the north, which the northern army is talking about the American military. It says, and I would send them into the parched wasteland. You got Saudi Arabia, which is basically desert. It says, and I would send them to the parched wastelands. Those in front will be driven into the Dead Sea. Okay, you got the utmost sea, you got the East Sea, the Dead Sea, and then those into the rear into the Mediterranean, and the stench of their rotten bodies will rise over the land, because the Lord said in the valley of Jehoshaphat, man. So it's going to be nothing but death over there. This is why the Lord said in Revelation 19, he called the fowls of heaven to feast on the bodies of kings and captains and rulers, because, hey, man, it's going to be bad, bro. You know, that's going to be a traumatic sight to see. This is why Yahushua, man, he's going to put in that work, because this is exactly what you going over there to meet, you know. Go here, Joel 3. Let's go up to the book of Joel 3 and 7. No, Joel 3, and I'm going to start at verses 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, and prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, and let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. So all the recruits, hey, I think France was talking about reinstating a draft or bringing back a draft. Okay, you see what they're doing in the Ukraine. They grabbing motherfuckers up as old as 60 years old, and putting them and grabbing them up and saying, look, you going to war, or we gonna put you to death, or we gonna lock you up. One brother said that he saw the numbers. It's gonna be 18 to 64. And don't get it twisted. That 18 to 26, man, look, that's just what they say on paper. Overall, just don't think because you 28, 29, 35, 38, 39, 40, you safe from getting that call, man. Because like I said, once they exhaust that list real quick, they gonna go up. They say, okay, man, we gonna have to up the age. Because, I mean, you got men in their 30s, that's considered your prime, still able to fight. So you got men in the military in their 50s right now. So I can very well see that number changing. They could say, look, we can start from 18 and into 64. And to be honest with you, shit, they should start at 16. 16 and 16 into goddamn 70. He gonna grab up as many people as he need. They gonna need bodies. Okay? Y'all gonna do y'all little joint military drills. You're gonna train with NATO. But hey, 6 weeks of basic training, shit, throw an M16 in your hand. You going to work, buddy. And I'm gonna tell you like this, you ain't got no experience in fighting out there. Okay, these men were bred for war. So it's gonna be bad for you out here, especially those of you that don't have any battle experience. Oh man. Basically Esau's going over there to send you over there to die. That's what it is. But like the same people that's writing these draft bills and the recruit, you know, like the congressmen and the elites, the Rothschilds, their kids are not going to fight this shit. Their kids are not in this battle. Okay, you ain't gonna dare see Sir Baron Rothschild Jr. over there fighting a war. Okay, you ain't gonna see Biden son or any of them or Clintons or their kids not going to this shit because they know that this is a bullshit ass war. Well, they know they've started some mess, man. I mean, just for nothing really. Okay, they didn't have to send people off to die, but this is the devil. All right, it says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Yeah, the American military, China, Russia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, all these nations. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, and let the weak say, I am strong. So yeah, this is World War III. It says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about to the cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord, and let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. It reads, it says, for there I will sit to judge all the heathen round about, man. All right, so this is talking about World War. You see? So it's getting ready to get real graphic out here. All right, Jeremiah 51. Matter of fact, let me go back to the article. It says there were 2,324 military deaths in Afghanistan, along with 3,917 U.S. contractor deaths. Iraq equally cost with this military 4,431 military lives lost and 31,944 wounded, and they didn't take care of none of these people for the most part. A lot of people that went over there, they didn't get taken care of, man. They came back over here, gave the ass a bullshit disability check and threw them out on the streets, man. So who the hell wants to fight? Knowing how you do your veterans, who wants to fight for this place? It says many others still suffer from conditions such as post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. It says undoubtedly the two 9/11 related wars took a toll on recruitment. One factor is a decline in patriotism, because the Lord said that he was going to break the teeth of the young lions, okay, which is the military. It says a June Gallup poll found that only 18% of 18 to 34-year-olds say they are extremely proud to be an American. Damn. However, there are numerous reasons why fewer young Americans are enlisting. But in late August, a 10-page bombshell article, A Call to Action, Lessons from Ukraine for the Future Force, was posted on Parameters, the Army War College's quarterly journal. But the essay explained why the 1970s concept of an all-volunteer force has outlived the shelf life and does not align with current operating environment. Okay, it reads, it says, Katie Crum and John Nagel, whose credentials cannot be lightly dismissed, wrote that the U.S. Army is facing a dire combination of recruiting shortfall and a shrinking individual-ready reserve. The shrink is sight alarming. It says the individual-ready reserve, which stood at 700,000 in 1973 and 450,000 in 1994, now stands just 76,000. So yeah, they're going to have to meet those numbers. These numbers cannot fill the existing gaps of acting force, let alone any casualty replacement or expungement during a large-scale combat operation. And World War III is going, man, it's going to claim a lot of lives in a small amount of time, because World War III ain't going to be a drawn-out. I mean, technically, since the start of the Cold War, we've been in the Third World. Okay, going shit over 40 fucking years. But overall, the hot war, when it gets hot, it's gonna be. I mean, this ain't gonna take place over no month, over no years, because the whole world will be decimated. Okay, the Lord says it's gonna take 1 hour for this place to be destroyed. So when the nukes get shut off, you're gonna have 1 hour left for this motherfucking place before it's totally rubble. You know. So this is the book of Jeremiah 51, and I'm gonna start at verses. Let's start at verses 49. It says, as Babylon has caused the slain of Israel to fall, so Babylon shall fall. It says, and at Babylon shall fall the slain of all the earth. Man, and ye have escaped the sword, go away and stand not still, and remember the Lord afar off, and let Jerusalem come into your mind. But we are confounded, because we have heard a reproach, and shame have covered our faces, for strangers are come into our sanctuaries of the Lord's house. Wherefore, behold, the days come, said Yahweh, that I would do judgment upon her graven images, and through all her land the wounded shall groan. And though Babylon should mount up to heaven, and though she shall fortify the heights of our strength, yet for me shall spoilers come into her, says the Lord, and a sound of cry coming from Babylon, and great destruction from the land of the Chaldeans. Because the Lord hath spoiled Babylon, and destroyed out of her the great voice, when her waves do roar like great waters, a noise of their voice is uttered, because the spoilers is come upon her. Even Babylon and her mighty men are taken. Every one of their bows is broken. For the Lord Yahweh of recompense shall surely requite, man. Okay, so I'm going to end it here, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will, you are edified until the next.